Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this Sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech, and we have a sweet modern list to look at today. This is our Fishbowl Thursday deck tech for the week, means viewer submitted deck, and this one comes to us from Mark, who sent in X Factor, and I think this deck is pretty spicy. On one hand, it's a combo that I haven't seen anyone use in Modern. On the other hand, it's built around a combo that's actually really super old, going back like 20 years almost, but actually works in the Modern format. So thanks to Mark for sending in a really sweet deck, and if you'd like your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday or the Fish Tank article series, make sure to leave a link in the comments, or you can email me, saffronolive@MTGGoldfish.com. So let's talk X Factor for Modern, and the key card of our deck is Protein Hawk. So Protein Hawk, 7 mana, 6/6, blah 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 blah. The big deal is when it dies, we get to search our library for any number of creature cards with total converted mana cost 6 or less. So we get 1 6-drop, we get 6 1-drops, etc., etc., etc. Put them into play and shuffle our library. That is the ability of Protein Hawk that we're looking to abuse. So for this to work, we can't get to 7 mana and then intentionally kill our Protein Hawk. We are trying to get Protein Hawk in our graveyard and reanimate it. So for getting our Hulk in the graveyard, we have a few options. We have Smuggler's Copter, can just loot it into the graveyard by also hitting our opponent in the air. We have Grim Flare, when it hits our opponent, we get to mill up to 3 cards. Also can leave some on top of our deck if we want to, and Grim Flare becomes a pretty good threat in its own right. We also have some discard spells. Collective Brutality, the best way to get our Protein Hawk in the graveyard, because we can just escalate to discard it to choose more modes, but in a pinch, we can Thoughtseize ourselves if we have to, because the idea is, if we can get Protein Hawk in the graveyard and reanimate Protein Hawk, we should just win the game on the spot immediately. So how do we get Protein Hawk back from the graveyard? And this is another way that the deck's kind of unique. We are intentionally using fragile reanimation spells, I would say. Reanimation spells where our creature is going to die at the end of turn or when something happens. So our best option, Footsteps of the Goryo, just 3 mana, puts a creature from a graveyard into play, and then we have to sacrifice it at the end of turn. But that's fine with us. Sacrificing our Hulk is actually an upside, so this is better than a Reanimate or some permanent reanimation spell. Makeshift Mannequin, kind of our backup plan. It's an instant. It reanimates a creature. If it becomes targeted, we sacrifice it. But in theory, we can like wait till our opponent's attacking and then Makeshift Mannequin to get Hulk and then block with it and have it die. So that is a backup way to get it into play. So how do we actually win the game? Let's assume we pull this off. We get our Hulk in the graveyard. We get it out of the graveyard. It dies. What combination of cards are we getting to win the game with Protein Hawk's Death Trigger? And this actually involves a whole bunch of cards. So there's a way to cheat with Protein Hawk. If you read Protein Hawk, what it says is you can search for any number of creatures with total converted mana cost 6 or less. In theory, 0 counts. So we can search for technically an infinite number of 0-drops, and they don't count towards that total 6 converted mana cost. So the package that we are tutoring up, 4 copies of Disciple of the Vault. Disciple of the Vault, just a 1 mana 1/1 that whenever an artifact goes into the graveyard, we get to have an opponent lose 1 life. And then we also have 4 Walking Ballista, 4 Stone Coil Serpents. So when Hulk dies, we get 4 Disciple of the Vaults, 4 0/0 Stone Coil Serpents, 4 0/0 Walking Ballistas. They're going to immediately die because they have no power at toughness, which means every one of those dying is going to be 4 Disciple of the Vault triggers, because we'll have 4 Disciple of the Vault. So 4 Vaults, Stone Coil Serpent number 1 dies. Ping, 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 ping. That's 4 loss of life for our opponent. Then the next copy is going to die. Ping, 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 ping. That's 4 more. That's up to 8. Altogether, this amounts to 32 points of life loss for our opponent. We just drain our opponent out of the game all the way from Tony, and in theory, we can do this as early as turn 3. If we could get our Hulk in the graveyard on turn 2, we reanimate it with Footsteps on turn 3, dies end of turn, Disciple of the Vault, Stone Coil, Walking Ballistas, all the copies, drain our opponent out of the game. Good game, nice try, opponent. So that is the plan of the deck. That's what we're trying to set up, cheating on that total converted mana cost of 6 by getting a bunch of 0-drops that die right away with our Disciple of the Vault on the battlefield. Otherwise, Drown in the Lock, just kind of a catch-all removal spell. Could be a counter, could be some removal. Mana base wise, fetch lands, fast lands, shock lands, basic lands, pretty typical modern stuff. In the sideboard, we get Veil of Summer for some protection for our combo. Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy for removal. Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay, especially important because we need our Protean Hulk to die. So if our opponent has a Rest in Peace Leyline of the Void, they create a replacement effect where our Protean Hulk can't die, we can't combo, we can't win. So we need to be able to kill those enchantments if our opponent has them in their sideboard. Speaking of Leyline, we have some of our own, along with Ashiok for Graveyard Hate, Damping Sphere to slow down combo decks and draw decks, and that is X Factor for Modern. And that's been our Fishbowl Thursday instant deck tech for this week. So thank you so much to Mark for sending in an awesome deck, and thank you so much for watching. If you'd like your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday, make sure to leave me that link in the comments or email me, SaffronOlive@MTGGoldfish.com. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.